everyone, my name is Sally Cox and I'm going to show you today how to use Adobe Captivate 5.5 and create buttons directly within Captivate. I'm a designer and there are some buttons that come within the program. I prefer to have a more modern look and I like to be a little bit more creative, so I have some ideas for you on how you can create your own buttons. First of all, I'm in a blank project. So this is my blank page that I have here, my stage that I'm working on. And I'm going to go down here and grab one of my drawing tools. I'm going to use my rectangle tool. Now I want to show you first of all, before I hop into that, some of the buttons that are available within Captivate. So here I've used the button tool to insert a button, and you can see if you go over here that you have some different ones that you can pick from. So I could choose image button, and there are some that I can pick from over here. I'm personally not a big fan of these. I love Captivate, but I'm not particularly crazy about any of these buttons. So I like to do things a little bit differently. So I'm going to get rid of that button on my page, and I'm going to go down here to my drawing tools, and I'm choosing my rectangle tool. Now first I want to point out that you could bring in images. Quite often I create really slick looking buttons in Adobe Illustrator and bring them in, and then just use that button tool to put a transparent button on top of them. But I want to show you something a little bit different, how you can create buttons directly within Captivate. So I'm using my button, my rectangle tool, and I'm going in here and just clicking and dragging to create a rectangle. So I can go in here and change my fill. I'm going to use this pretty shade of blue that I used earlier on a different project. Maybe choose a different shade for the stroke, and I can put a thicker stroke on if I want to, or I could take the stroke off altogether if I like. What I really like that I can do now in 5.5 is I can go in here and add a shadow. So I'm using the shadow section, and I'm enabling it, and I'm going to go in here and just choose a different shade, and I can go in here and change my amount, and I can change my blur, and I can do all sorts of different things to create a different looking kind of button here. So I kind of like the way that looks, and maybe I'll just go in here and try putting a stroke on just to see what kind of a look I get. So that's a little bit of a different looking button. I kind of like it. And I can even go in if I wanted to and build other shapes on top of that. So maybe I would draw another shape, take the stroke off, maybe give it a fill of white, make it look kind of transparent. Maybe cut back on this a little bit to make it look a little bit more transparent, just to give it a different kind of effect here, and possibly go in here. Let me make it a little bit less opaque. No, that's probably good enough. Okay, so I'm now ready to maybe want to recreate this button, so I can select this and copy it. And maybe I have 3 buttons across the top here. And then I can go in here and select all of these. So maybe this one, I want to set this one at, I'm going to go down here because I can't really group in Captivate. I can go in here and check my X and Y. My Y is set to 22. So I'm going to go in here and make sure my Y is the same for all of these. This one's off a little bit, so I'm going to make an adjustment there. And then I'm going to go in here and just kind of move these so that they're directly across from each other and they're spaced evenly. Then I can go in here and lock them. So I'm going to select all of these items and right click and lock them. That way I can't accidentally grab them if I'm drawing something on top of it. Next I'm going to use my button tool, and I'm going to pull a button up over top of one of these, and this is where I can create the action. So I'm going to set my button to be transparent so I can build the action on it. Let me set this to 0. So I can go in here and build the action in, but then have it automatically be transparent so that you can't see it. So I'm going to go in here and select that button and copy it, and then paste it and put it over top of each one of these, and then I can go in here and add my action. So the first thing I want to do is add a couple more slides. So I'm going to put a new slide in, and then maybe another one, and then another one. And on each one of these I maybe want to put something a little bit different so that I can tell what I'm doing. So in this one I'm just going to put the number 1 and change this to be a transparent, and change this to make it a little bit bigger so I can show you how this works. So maybe go down here and center this. So there's the number 1, copy that, paste it here and change it to number 2. Just something quick to show you how this works. And then this one I'm going to change to number 3. So I have 3 different pages that I can link my buttons to. So on this one, I'm going to have it go to a slide, and I want to go to a particular slide. So I'm telling it to jump to, and I want to jump to slide number 2. Okay, and then this one I'm going to tell it to jump to a slide, and I'm going to tell it to jump to slide number 3. And this one I'm going to tell it to jump to a slide, and I'm going to have it jump to slide number 4. And then I'm going to go in here and preview my project. So I'll go up here to my preview button and preview my project. And then I can select one of mine and have it automatically go to slide number 2, and then I could go back and have it go to slide number 3 and so forth. So that's how easy it is to go in here and create your own custom looking buttons directly within Captivate. Apply a transparent button over top of it. So you build everything with the graphics tools. Lock them down so that you can't accidentally click on them. And then you can go in and use your button tool set to transparent and have it navigate throughout your document. That's something I really like to do. And that's how you can create your own custom buttons directly within Captivate 5.5.